Arsenal bromance like a Nader Manua and Eberechi Eze bromance. Do you remember this hug? Do you remember this hug? It was a hug that launched.
Who's this cameraman? Is that Ralph? Get him out of the way.
This is from the FA Cup final where Nader had a 10-minute hug with Eberechi Eze after they won the FA Cup final. Nader, you were whispering sweet nothings in his ears about your QPR days.
Do you know, if he didn't put his head on my shoulder at the end, it looks like assault. So I'm glad that he did that. I'm really, really glad that he did that.
Not the assault allegation.
Oh gosh,
but you two go way back, and you were talking to him there. You told me what you were telling him about, some of the darker days that he faced and where he is now. And it's no surprise he has become quite the hot commodity, especially in this summer transfer window. We spoke on Sunday after the Community Shield about links to Arsenal for Eze and whether that would be a good move. Stevie Nicol said that he would absolutely flourish in a system like Arsenal. But today there's fresh links of him to go to Spurs. Which of the two would you like to see?
Between Arsenal and Spurs? Look at me, just trying to cause a bit of a North London
Nader agent.
I think Arsenal. Because in reality, like the infrastructure and stuff at Spurs is good. The Thomas Frank project could be very, very good. But for Arsenal, you know what they are. You know how they're going to compete. And obviously the time in terms of since they last won the league has been significant. But if you were to say who's going to win the league first between Arsenal and Spurs, you'd probably be petty if you say Spurs. But in reality, you want to lean more towards Arsenal. You've seen them have really long stretches where they do well. So I would go for Arsenal. And considering he was a player there when he was in the academy from young, he has links there as well, has a feel for the club. And it's not to say that Spurs aren't a good project. We've just been talking about Savinho potentially going there. I get that, but Eze in that Arsenal red makes more sense. And to see him potentially be at a club who are striving to be winning, not their first trophy in 13 years. I know for Arsenal it's been a bit of a drought now, but yeah, I think Eberechi Eze at Arsenal makes sense to me.
Look at that little glimmer in your eye. I absolutely love it. Jules, you have links to Arsenal and North London as well. Arsenal or Spurs, where do you think Eze could likely end up?
I think the only thing for Arsenal is I think they will have to sell before being able to put a bid in for him. And we think the price that Crystal Palace won for Eze is probably around the 55 to 60 million pounds, which is, if you look at players of this talent and this kind of position, whether you count him as a 10 or a wide player, it doesn't matter so much, but this is the price you have to pay now. So this is the price. Arsenal, I think we need to sell first. For Spurs, even if they do the Savinho deal, even with the money they've already spent on Kudus, for example, they probably still have that money available and might be quicker to put an offer on the table, which might not be the case for Arsenal. And then if he has agreed personal terms with both clubs, you just will have to choose. I agree with Nathan in the sense that you would join a team that is ready already, where you would just fit in perfectly on that left-hand side, and it would not be too hard, I think, to settle in and to adapt against a team that is very much being built right now with a brand new manager, a new style to implement, new players a bit everywhere, which will be more difficult for sure. But he's so good that he would do well for either team. It's just I think that Arsenal is probably more ready for him than Spurs.
All right, well, to hear a lot more from Julien Laurens and our Gab Marcotti, guess what's back? The Gab and Jules podcast has made a stunning return. Make sure to check out the latest edition on Apple Podcasts or wherever you do get your podcasts. Well, ESPN FC is presented by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. And let's talk about Alexander Isak, shall we? Sorry, Shaka, sorry. But it looks like he will refuse to play again for Newcastle. It is the novella that has us on the edge of our seats. Will he stay at Newcastle or will he go to Liverpool? It seems like the player is pushing for an exit from St. James's Park. Jules, what's going on here? What's the latest?
To be fair, I don't think there's anything new in this. We said it, I think, when we were on the show with Shaka and Stevie, and I think you too, maybe 10 or 15 days ago, that he didn't want to play for Newcastle ever again. This is not new. Maybe he's repeated it to them, but I was told that back at the end of the season, he already said to Eddie Howe that he wanted to move in the summer to a bigger club, a club that could win the Premier League, that could win the Champions League, which is not, no offense to Newcastle, it's a great club, but right now they're not at that kind of level. So there's nothing new there, really. The question is, who is going to win this massive power battle, really? He's under contract, many more years of contract he has with Newcastle, so he's not in a strong position. And
Arsenal's ambitious pursuit of Eberechi Eze has just taken a dramatic and unexpected turn. Flushed face 4 weeks, the Gunners have been locked in advanced negotiations with Crystal Palace, with reports suggesting that a deal structure had been finalized in personal terms agreed with the player. Many Arsenal fans believed it was only a matter of time before the 26-year-old was unveiled in red and white. But in a stunning twist, Crystal Palace have slammed the brakes on the move. Police Carlight sources close to the club reveal that Palace's hierarchy, led by chairman Steve Parish, have decided to reject Arsenal's latest approach, a decision that could see their talisman remain at Selhurst Park for the rest of the season. This unexpected U-turn has left Arsenal's recruitment team scrambling for answers and alternatives. So why the sudden change of heart? Behind the scenes, Palace are believed to have concerns about replacing Eze so late in the transfer window. With limited time to secure a suitable replacement and the player's value to their survival hopes, the South London club are digging in their heels. There are also whispers of interest from other top clubs, sparking speculation that Palace may be positioning themselves for a bigger bidding war. For Mikel Arteta, this development is a major blow. Eze was seen as the creative spark to elevate Arsenal's attacking play, offering flair, versatility, and goal threat. Without him, the club may have to pivot quickly to other targets or hope Palace soften their stance in the final hours of the window. Is this truly the end of the saga, or could a last-minute hijack still happen before the deadline slams shut? Hourglass not done in football, anything is possible, and with the transfer clock ticking, the next few days could be explosive.